Folks, you are currently missing out on the single greatest Pokemon investment of our lifetimes. This is similar to catching first edition base set in its day. This is like getting back in the hobby when I did, but instead of doing stupid things like opening packs and making flips, stocking up on every XY era set and every Mega Evolution PSA 10. What we're talking about here is value of cataclysmic proportions. What I'm talking about, of course, is Chinese Pokemon. Guys, this is not a joke. This is not satire. Chinese Pokemon cards and boxes are going through the roof right now. As you can see right here, this pink box is the first set, Chinese Gem 1. Now, the boxes in and of themselves aren't that impressive. They only have 15 packs. They have 5 card packs. 4 card packs? 5 card packs. And they're not that valuable, right? $50 to $60, depending on if you're sourcing from China or sourcing from the US. However, cards like this are starting to pop up with values in excess of $800 in a PSA 10 for just a Pikachu with a captain's hat on. We've seen other Pikachus in the past. We've never seen Pikachus printed in the Chinese language at this value, but here we are in 2025. Here's Chinese Gem 2, the most popular Chinese set right now, as we started to sell out of it very frequently on the pack breaks on the channel. And these boxes are now going between $50 to $60, depending on if you source from the China or the US, which hold the coveted Umbreon illustration rare, which, just like the Pikachu, these are exclusive to the Chinese sets. Now, this card has come down in the 700s, but not too long ago, if we scroll back a little while, this card was actively going for over $1,000. Now, we have to scroll back quite a bit. There's so many of these sold because obviously you have to get your hands on them. This is the single greatest card of generation. As you can see right here, over $1,600 in a PSA 10 just back in June, what this card was selling for. Which brings us to the 151 set, as they're calling it, that is coming out for Chinese. The boxes are already selling for $120 to $140 for 15 packs. That is half the amount of packs, less than half the amount of packs you get in an English booster box. Meaning, if you take $120 to $140 and you double it, you're already at $240 to $280 a box. And you still have 6 less packs than you get in English. And you only get 5 cards per pack. Meaning, by pack value, these are more valuable than English Pokemon card packs. These are more valuable than English Pokemon cards. This set holds the Gengar Pikachu illustration rare, exclusive to this set, where the pre-orders, not even PSA 10, the raw card is selling of upwards of $1,000 a card. Now, people keep asking me, Alex, is this the single greatest investment of our time? Are we missing the boat? At which point, I like to draw their attention to Japanese Pokemon, because you know what? I think Chinese is the next Japanese. I really do. And so, if you want to get in on the next Japanese, this is it. Now, if you're wondering what's happened with Japanese, let's go ahead and refresh everyone's brain. We have Super Electric Breaker booster boxes, which, over the last 6 months, they've been trending down, where English booster boxes have still been trending up. Where the Pikachu, right, has crashed. We've got the Battle Partners booster box, which has absolutely cratered in the last 6 months, whereas the English one has stabilized and been trending up. And we have the Lily's Clefairy, which absolutely has cratered. Even Terrestrial Festival has seen significant declines, as well as the Umbreon. We've got the Heat Wave Arena booster box, which has been trending very substantially down, as well as the Cynthia's Garchomp inside doing the same. We have the Glory of Team Rocket, which doesn't look so glorious right now. As Destined Rivals is setting all-time highs, getting close to $300 a box, you have Glory of Team Rocket, well, crashing under $100 a box. And even the Team Rocket Mewtwo is not holding the value it once had. We've got the Black Bolt and White Flare sets with the release of English. Well, the popularity is draining from those, and they are continuing to crater, as well as the monochromatic Zekrom doing the same thing. The White Flare is no different. The chart looks exactly the same, as does the Reshiram chart. And so, if you want my take on all the Chinese craziness right now, I say, well, just look at the Japanese market in the last couple years and all the craze that was surrounding that, and go look at where all the cards and the boxes are ending up right now. That is my take on the Chinese market. I know I'm going to burst everyone's bubble. Everyone's going to leave me hate comments. Alex, you're just trying to shill English. But as always, guys, I give you my honest take, and I try to save everyone from pitfalls they may run into. I got absolutely trashed. I mean, I was drugged through the mud when I came out and talked negatively of the Japanese market, because at the time it was all booming. Everyone was lost in euphoria and, giving me every reason under the sun as to why I was wrong and why Japanese Pokemon deserved to be worth more than English. And here we are. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I did back then. This is some of the largest levels of overhype mania we've seen. No, I do not believe any of these cards or boxes will hold any sort of value like they are right now. I do believe they're going to keep getting opened in mass, because why wouldn't they? When the cards are that ridiculously valued right now, everyone's going to try and get their hands on it to take advantage of the market. But if you are seriously putting these cards away at these prices into your collections, thinking they're going to be worth 2, 3, 4, 5x in the future, I think you're out of your mind. And I do think as we march along into the future in the next 6 months, year, 2 years, it's going to make what I'm saying now look very smart. Now, when everything's like this, it's going to be a very unpopular opinion. I'll probably have some of the most negative comments I've ever had in my comment section on this video, but I really don't care, guys. I've called it before. I'm going to call it again right now. English is the blue chip. English sealed product remains the blue chip investment. The reason is the majority of the world speaks English. And as we've seen, the majority of the sales that Pokemon puts out are in English language. Now, they may be sold in the UK market, they may be sold in the Australian market, this market, that market. They're printed in English. And that's what the majority of the world prefers. I know some people prefer the Japanese art, the texturing, the hollow. They prefer, the way they release their sets. They prefer the way they keep their cards in their sets and don't put them in promos. They prefer, the exclusivity of the Chinese artwork in these sets. They prefer the price points. They prefer, this and that, right? I know all of the arguments against it, right? I understand all of that. I understand Japanese was the original language for Pokemon. I understand that Chinese has a much larger population than we do. I get all of the arguments. I'm not here to say any of the arguments are invalid. I'm just here to give you my take, and my take is do not get wrapped up in the madness. If you want to continue to open the stuff, I would too. I'll probably even open some stuff. Why wouldn't I? When the chances of pulling these cards aren't that crazy. I mean, we've pulled, I don't know, at least 5+ of those Umbreons on stream, and I haven't even opened that many boxes. Yeah, I'll probably open some myself, and I tell you guys, keep opening it. While the card prices are this high, rip the hell out of these boxes, find the cards, flip them on the market, grade them, flip them for exponential amounts more, make tons of money, and be happy. Play in the Chinese market right now. But understand, I do believe we will come to a point where most everything will decline. There will be people left holding the bag, and that'll be a sad time. And so that's all I got, guys. That's my take on the hottest investments in the world in 2025. We're out.